Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Craig Forrestal of NFL Draft Diamonds. Go ahead and catch me on Twitter at @thatsportsguy, _sports_guy. Today with me today, I am stoked to have former Kansas Jayhawk Jock Givens with me. Go ahead, catch his work on Twitter at KingJock24 and 5 Reasons Sports Network. Jock, how we doing today, man?
I'm doing well. What about yourself?
Hey, you know what? I'm stuck inside. It's quarantine day 4083. It seems like I'm getting so much use out of my Netflix subscription. I mean, I'm just good to hear another human being right now. So
yeah, it's been quarantine, but it's for the better. We'll be out of this soon, so we got to keep.
Exactly, we just got to keep our distance and do our part. Yeah, and so speaking of doing our part, what we're going to do today is we're going to jump on in. We're going to talk about some of the top draft prospects coming up here next Thursday. We will have the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. So what we'll go ahead and do is give you some of the top draft prospects, talk a little bit about their game, what we like, some of the team schemes that they might fit into. So, of course, we are going to start it off with just about everybody's number one, or at least my number one. You can go ahead and catch my final draft big board on fanspeak.com now. And my number one player is Joe Burrow. Jock, go ahead and give me your reaction to my number one and what you think of that.
Well, he's the quarterback, so obviously he's going to be number one because it's a quarterback-driven league. But I'm very high on Joe Burrow. I see him as a starter in the NFL. I love how he eludes pressure in the pocket. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but you kind of couldn't tell that within the system he was running at LSU because he was making all the throws. So I'm very excited for him. I think he's going to be a great player. The only thing I am scared about for him, since he's projected to go number one, is Cincinnati a good fit for him?
And see, I'm with you there because you look around, what do they have protecting him up front? I mean, the last thing you want to do is get a rookie quarterback, a young guy hit 1,000,001 times. Go ahead and look at David Carr, how that worked out when he was with the Texans. So I'm with you. That supporting cast, you look at it from a skill position standpoint. Yeah, they got Tyler Boyd and they got A.J. Green, but A.J. Green's been banged up. They got Joe Mixon. They're not bringing back Gio Bernard, so they need to find a supplement back in there. So, like you said, there's a couple of moving pieces. And then on the O-line, their number one pick from last year, Jonah Williams, was out with an injury. Are they going to let him play left tackle, protect that blind side? So, essentially, you're going to be going rookie, because he doesn't have any NFL snaps in the regular season. So I'll consider Jonah Williams to be a rookie this year. So I'm with you. For as much as there's good stuff with Joe Burrow, there are a couple of concerns if he does land in Cincinnati. Now, a little bit of a wrench. I've been high on this guy since the beginning of time. My number two player is Georgia offensive tackle Andrew Thomas. Go ahead, Jock. What do you think about that?
I will say that I think he's probably the safest player in the draft for the simple fact he's a tackle, or if he doesn't tackle, you can move him into guard. So I think he's the most safest prospect. I know people like Chase Young also is another safe prospect. So I think him and Chase Young probably the safest prospects in the draft. I think you can't go wrong picking either of those guys because I think at the end of the day, if he doesn't pan out at left tackle, you can move him into guard. Maybe even right tackle if you need it, because I think he's athletic enough to play right tackle. So that's my opinion. I think he's going to be a high pick. I'm hoping he falls to the Dolphins at 18 because I see him following a lot of mocks. But I think somebody's going to see the truth and say, I can't leave this kid on the board.
And I'm with you there. He did start at right tackle and left tackle at Georgia. He was a 3-year starter, started as a true freshman. I mean, and Georgia's one of those programs where if you come in right away and you step in and you're playing ball and you're getting meaningful snaps, like you're legit. There's no question about it.
And they play in the toughest conference as well in the SEC. And they have been challenging Alabama and LSU the last couple of years. So you have to respect. You got to respect that, and that's good football in the SEC. I know a lot of people say it's biased and all that, but those guys down there play good ball. So,
oh no, they definitely do, and I'm with you. I think Andrew Thomas is a perfect fit with the Dolphins. They need to rebuild and retool that O line, and I think Andrew Thomas is a perfect fit for them. My number 3 is actually Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. I have him listed as a linebacker. I see a lot of Brian Urlacher in Isaiah Simmons, especially early on in his career. I think you're going to get that whole, we're just going to throw you in the middle. We're going to let you play ball. You're going to have 10 guys doing 11 guys' jobs because you're kind of going to let Isaiah play as a free hitter, kind of just let him do his thing. And I think if he goes 3 to Detroit, 4 to the Giants, either one I think is a good fit for him. But if there's any way, I would love to see how Brian Flores could design some things up for him if he were to find his way to 5.
I disagree with your number 3 prospect. I do have Simmons in my top 5, but now we kind of got to get to the nitty gritty. Chase Young is probably the best player in this draft, so he has to be in your top 3 prospects. I'm very high on Chase Young because he's a freak. You can't put his stats and stuff like that in the NFL on his impact because he's sort of like Jadeveon Clowney. Like, they're going to get the sack numbers and everything, but those guys are freaks. Chase Young, to me, will be better in more of a 4-3 scheme, though, because I think he plays better with his hand in the ground. But I can't see him standing up and being a rush linebacker. The only thing scared me with him is this. How is he going to hold up for the 16-game season, 1? But 2, what is his – I need to see more pass rush moves out of him because he was winning.
Thank you.
He was winning off.
Thank you.
He was winning off athleticism a lot last season, so I can't sit there and say, "Oh well, I know." But I think he needs more pass rush moves to win in the NFL because the offensive linemen are better in the league. So,
and see, like I'm going to catch heat for this, but I got Chase Young at 8. I still have him as a top 10 player. I mean, trust me, I would take him with a top 5 pick, depending on how that board fell. I like Chase Young. I'm not saying that I don't. But to your point, when I was watching his film, like you said, how he was beating people was just off natural athleticism. His pass rush moves, he didn't really have to show a whole lot. So for me, I'm with you. I mean, I still have him in the top 10. So, I mean, it's not like I hate the guy. But, no, I get exactly what you're saying.
The same thing. The same thing with the kid that's coming out next year, Rosas from Miami. I love his game, but I have to see him win more of pass rush moves instead of athleticism.
And that's kind of what we're at now with these pass rush specialists. Like you said, he's a freak like Jadeveon Clowney. Like, these guys, they're just so physically gifted that they are able to get by on that pure athleticism. So it's not a knock on Chase Young. It's just, to your point, like you said, he's a real good ball player. So you'll get him somewhere. Where do you like Chase Young? Where do you like him fitting?
Well, he's gonna go number 2 to Washington. So I think Washington has a pair of good with him and adding him to that with Montez Sweat. Yeah, so I think they're gonna be freak athletes there. So I love the fit period and all of it. But I think he's going to ultimately end up in Washington. I think Ron Rivera will do some great things with him. The only thing is, in Ron Rivera's system, they do not generate a lot of sacks. They're more of a pressure team, and they're more of a scheme fit thing. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely know exactly what you're saying. You know, play that, like, I guess, do your job type of football. Yes. And like you said, setting it up for like the next, 8 to 10 years on the edge with Montez Sweat on one side, Chase Young on the other. It doesn't matter if you're Dak Young, Carson Wentz, whoever in the NFC East, you're not going to want to see that. So yeah, no, definitely putting together a forceful front right there. So I think Washington is where he ends up too. Go ahead and give me your number 4.
I got Okudah. I think Okudah's the best. The best corner in the draft. I do love C.J. Henderson, but I think he's the best corner in the draft. I love his game. His film is crazy. He's a great man-to-man corner. I think he ends up with the Lions if they don't trade out of that pick. Ultimately, because I think it's just the perfect. They traded all their corners away. They got rid of their top guy. So I think he goes there. The only thing about Okudah was his 40 time. But to me, when I watch his film, the guy looks like he's very fluid. Obviously, he's not going to catch many interceptions because he's nobody's throwing at him at Ohio State. So you have to sit there and have to discredit that. So the stats shouldn't matter when you're talking about a guy like him, but I think he's going to be a guy who's going for. I mean, he's going to go in the top 3. My mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, I'm with you. I actually have Jeff Okudah at number 5. My number 4 is Derek Brown from Auburn, the D lineman. He's one of my crushes. He's so big, he's so strong, he's so powerful, and you watch the way that he just threw SEC D linemen around. I think if there's a way that he somehow falls to the Colts, Derek Brown, I think that's his ideal fit. I think you could get really, really creative with what they got going there on that improving young defense in Indy, and I think that he would be a nice fit. I think he's exactly what they need.
So I disagree with you there because we're talking about him. I don't think he fit with Armstead like that because I think Derek Brown's going to be more so a 3-4 nose tackle. Remember the coach added the Armstead from Oregon so they don't have a first round pick at the moment. But I like Brown as a 3-4 lineman though. I don't see him as I know a lot of people saying he fits anywhere, but I don't see him as that. I see him as a 3-4 guy, nose tackle like Snacks Harrison. I think he's gonna have a big impact like that because I think he's gonna be great against the run. So,
come on, can't you just let me sit over here and have my fantasy lane with Derek Brown on the Colts, man? Come on.
Nah, he's a great player. Now I can't sit there and take that away from him. He's a great. I think he's probably if Miami doesn't get Tua at 5, I would be happy to see him in Miami with that team because I think
Well, let's go there. Let's peel off this draft board real quick, and let's go there. Let's go Tua, because you're a Miami guy, right?
Yes, and I love Tua.
And you love Tua. You're not scared of the injuries? Nope. You're not worried about any of that?
I mean, let's be honest. I wrote in on one of my videos the other day. You can catch that on YouTube at the 5 Reasons Sports Network on YouTube, or you can catch it on my page, King Jock 24 on Twitter. I talked about this. The Dolphins have been mediocre at quarterback for the last 10 years. Would you not take Ben Roethlisberger's career? Because he's injury prone. That's not like he's not injury prone. He's very injury prone. Would you not take that career? Or would you want a guy who couldn't
Or would you rather have Jay Cutler, who's going to play every game but never get to a ring? Of course I want Big Ben. Big Ben's going to bring you Super Bowl trophies. Now, I love Jay Cutler, don't get me wrong. But to your point, it's great, Jay. You're going to suit up for all 16 games. You're going to maybe be a Pro Bowler. Like, you're not the worst quarterback in the league. You're better than just a guy.
He has his moments.
You're better than just a guy.
He has his moments. Now, Jay Cutler done had moments where you'd be like, well, damn, why can't he give me this all year?
Exactly. But no, I'm with you. Yeah, of course I'm going to go the Big Ben route. I'll take the busted up elbow that he just had this year, in year 15 or whatever.
But he's had multiple injuries, head injuries. He had the motorcycle incident. So with Tua, the only thing in his game that he has to improve on, but can be coached, is he has to stay away from the big play. A lot of the time he rushes to the big play, and that's where a lot of his turnovers come from and stuff like that. So that's a lot of his problem. He has to just take what the defense gives him, and to be honest, that's what Tom Brady mastered. He mastered the whole just taking what the defense gives me.
Now, there's an argument that I've seen on Twitter where it's, did Tua make the Alabama receivers better, or did the Alabama receivers make Tua better?
I think it was go hand in hand. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy to me is in my top 5. He was going to be my number 5 player. I think Jerry Jeudy is a top 5 player in this draft class because, man, the stuff he can do is phenomenal. He's an exceptional route runner. Probably the best route runner out of college in the last 10 years, to be honest, because, man, the way this guy is, he's open all day. I've never seen him he's always open. So I think he's a top 5 player, but I don't know. With that, it's kind of a hand-in-hand because the quarterback has to throw you the football. So if you're not getting the football on time, doesn't matter how good the receiver is.
And now let's stick there. You said something about the Dolphins. I want to talk to you about the Dolphins a little bit. I want to pick your brain because I live in Port St. Lucie, so I follow the Dolphins super close, and they're growing on me. They're growing on me. So, what do you feel that the plan is for Greer and Flores if Tua is not there at 5? Say Tua goes 3 to the Lions for whatever reason, or the Lions trade out of 3 and the Chargers trade up to 3 and they get Tua. What do you do at 5 then? What's the quarterback plan if Tua's not there?
I'm personally, the only thing with Jordan Love to me is probably the second best quarterback because Burrow's going to be gone at 1, so we're assuming that. I'm taking Jordan Love because he has more consistency in plays. Hubert, on the other hand, the only thing with him, he's a robot when he plays quarterback. Like, if the reads are not there, he's not gonna make the play, and that's his only problem as a quarterback. He doesn't make broken plays. He's a robot quarterback, inconsistent. He's very inconsistent. If you can get him to reach his potential, then you have a superstar quarterback because the guy has all the tools in the world you need. Like, he got the big arm. He's athletic. But with Jordan Love, you just see those plays, and he makes those throws. And, like, if the play breaks down, I know Jordan Love can make a play. Justin Hubert struggles with consistency. So he misses a lot of open receivers. So I'm not really high on Hubert. I'm also a Jordan Love guy because I like what Jordan Love did. Obviously, his sophomore tape was phenomenal when he had the coaching staff around and stuff like that. So this past season was not his best season. So we can't judge him. But as far as them, I think if that happens, you take the defensive player who may be there, either Brown, Simmons. If Okuda end up falling to you, you take Okuda that's a match made in heaven to add him with Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. You have a third corner there. So
would you try to play one of those guys at safety?
No.
Like, would you try to play Byron Jones at safety?
No. You roll them out the three corner guys. If you look at the Patriots' success, they always had 3 good corners. You look at when they won Super Bowls. They had Gilmore. Then they had Jonathan Jones, who was ascending at the time. They always had a 3 good corners. And the Broncos won with that system because it's a passing league now. So we can't sit there and refute that it's not. So you got to have 3 good corners.
Because you're in sub packages, nickel, dime packages, 60% of the game, second, third down, all that. So no, you're right. You need to have the three corners. And so then, are you talking maybe Jordan Love then? Where with that 18 pick then?
Well, it depends though, because if guys start to trade up, you may have to trade up and get your guy. So Jordan Love to me probably will get picked in the team. So yeah, I'll take him with the 18th pick. I do. If you don't get Love, I do also love Austin Jackson from USC. I think he's another guy he's a potential guy though if you pick him. He's all potential because he missed this past season dealing with a family situation. He's only 20 years old, but the guy's athletic and he can definitely play football.
And if my memory is serving me right, the last time that there was a super athletic 20-year-old left tackle that came out of USC, it was Tyron Smith, who ended up with the Cowboys. So that's pretty good company to be in conversation with. Now, with Austin Jackson, like you said, he did donate, I believe it was bone marrow to his younger sister. And it's just a phenomenal story. If you have not taken the chance to read about it, exactly, go ahead, take the time. It's heartwarming. It is family love at its core. And Austin Jackson is a special young man on and off the field, and I'm with you. His potential is sky high. So I think that he would definitely fit the Dolphins too with that third first-round pick. Speaking of the offensive tackle situation, what about Tristan Wirfs? What if the Dolphins were to do something with Tristan Wirfs that maybe
the only thing scares me with Wirfs I think he's more of a right tackle than he is left tackle or a guard. I don't see the left tackle, but Iowa has a good history of having good offensive linemen, so I wouldn't be against taking him. But I wouldn't take him at 5 because I think he's going to be more so a teens guy, like 18. He'll be like 15, 16. I don't think he'll be there when the Dolphins pick again. So to me, the Dolphins have 2 things they have to address. 3 things, I'm sorry, if they want to go with at 5. If the quarterback's not there that you want, then you have to go interior D-line with Derek Brown. If he's not there, then you have to go offensive tackle. And this is a great offensive tackle class. So I will go ahead and take whoever you feel that best is there. Or you can trade back also and get, you already have multiple picks, but I'm a fan of the Dolphins actually doing this. Trading some of these picks for guys who are disgruntled and on contracts. So I say like Trent Williams would be a great pickup for the Dolphins, but I'm also with how the Dolphins are moving right now. Let's not go ahead and take on guys we have to pay. Get guys who are under contracts and that can still pay. Like, a name to watch, and I know it may not be true, is Von Miller, because I think Von Miller's going into his last year of his deal, if I'm not mistaken. I think he'll be a nice fit with Flores. He can be moved if you call and talking right deal with the Broncos.
All right. Well, if we're going to throw out potential trade scenarios in the AFC East, pay attention to Detroit and New England coming up, because Belichick loves to do work with his disciples, and you got Patricia over there in Detroit. I can see Matt Stafford getting moved. Patriots have a quarterback need. Patriots don't care about their draft picks because they'll just go down to the grocery store week 13, get the bag boy to start running slants, and it's all good. So I could see maybe Matt Stafford getting moved if we're going to speculate on older or NFL old, I should say, players at the end of their contract. I could definitely see that happening. But, Jock, I got one more thing for you, just real quick about the Dolphins. You said with Derek Brown. So pairing Derek Brown up on the D-line with Christian Wilkins.
You got a Shaq Lawson.
Oh, I love God. I love Godchow. But now just with that, with 2 first-round picks, if Brown does end up going there, do you think that's setting a tone for how the Dolphins want to be for the next however many years, just a physical upfront team?
Yes, the Dolphins, let's be honest, the Dolphins are trying to build a team where they can win with toughness. Let's look at how they won this past season. These guys are out there just playing strictly off heart. The Dolphins, realistically, if we want to be honest, we won 5 games, but the Dolphins could have won 6 games because they could have beat the Steelers on that Monday night. They just gave that game to them. The Redskins game as well. So the Dolphins potentially could have won 7 games this past season, and people don't even realize it. Only thing is now you're going to have expectations because Flores is getting a lot of buzz on how good of a coach he is because he is a great coach. But to get that D-line to that extent, because to win championships, you have to have a great O-line, great D-line play regardless of anything else. You look at the people who are constantly contending. The Chiefs had a great D-line. Obviously, they had the best player in the world right now, Pat Mahomes, but they still added those guys. And the 49ers, the 49ers D-line was phenomenal. Their offensive line is great. Obviously, Jimmy G came up short in the Super Bowl, but this is how you win championships in the league. This is how you win at any level. Anytime you have great O-line, D-line play, that's why the reason the Ohio States and Alabamas and Clemson's are constantly contending every year because the guys are dominant up front in the front 7. I mean,
absolutely. No, absolutely. You're 100% right. I just wanted to hear from a Dolphins guy just what he thought about that and that identity going forward, because it could be argued that the Dolphins really haven't had a true identity for the last handful of seasons, possibly. So now let's get back into a little bit of draft talk real quick. And who's someone that you're higher on than most people? Who's a guy that most draft people are saying he's maybe like a third, fourth, fifth round guy that you're a little bit higher on? Because for me, I'm super high on Alton Robinson, DN from Syracuse. I actually have him as my 33rd overall player on my big board. I got him just as a borderline first-round pick. I think he's going to be something serious in the league. 6'4", 270, three-time All-ACC player. Did start his career at a junior college, but as soon as he got to Syracuse, he set the tone there defensively. And I just like what he brings. He's physical at the point of contact. He transitions well, speed to power, all that sort of thing. But the most important thing is him in the run game. The way he sets the edge, and he does not get bullied by offensive linemen and takes on double teams. He's, like I said, he's about 270 pounds, but he plays with every single ounce of that 270. He's solid in the run game. So for me, I'm higher on Alton Robinson the most. What about you?
For me, I know I've been talking about him for a while. It's Akeem Robertson from Louisiana Tech, the corner. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he's small or whatever, but I think the guy has a lot of versatility, 5'9". He actually ran 4.4 at his pro day, so that's a good time for him. I think he's solid. He's going to be very versatile. And it's just a game. I caught wind of him actually when he was in his in the bowl game, in his bowl game this past season, his sophomore year. I seen him make a couple of plays, and I seen his technique, and I was like, man, this guy he's good. Like he has it. And the commentators were saying how LSU was saying they missed out on him, but the guy is phenomenal. He has he's balanced. He has good technique at the point of attack. He's hip to hip in man coverage, and I think he's going to be a great slot corner for the next 5 to 10 years. I think he has all pro potential. I know people are kind of, the Honey Badger has opened up the door for the smaller defensive backs. But the guy has it. He makes plays. You see him with the energy. So you have to be honest and upfront and say, yeah, this guy is popping off the screen for me. Also, I like James Prochet from SMU as another guy who I think should go higher because I think he's a great route runner and he's a great receiver. And this is a deep receivers class, so he actually jumps off the screen. He's not as athletic as you would like, but he's open. He catches everything. He has the best hands, in the draft to me.
No, and you're right. I think the knock on him is, though, that he's an older rookie. I think he's going to be 23 or is already 23. But, I mean, like you said, you can't argue his hands. You look at the catches over his career, and you're going to be hard-pressed to find anyone else in this draft class that's going to come up and match him statistically. So the guy was always open.
He kind of reminds me of Adam Thielen. That's kind of who he reminds me of. I see him as a guy. He's very slow pace, but he can play. He can play.
I was going to say he just kind of, lulls you to sleep just with that real methodical game. That's a very interesting comparison. I hadn't really thought of a comparison for him, but now that you say that, it's pretty interesting.
Thielen is a great. That's how it is. So guys just get open. Michael Thomas is not the best athlete in the world, but the guy's just open.
Exactly. He's just open. And on that note, we are going to go ahead and we are going to close out, and we're going to go ahead and wish everyone a great day. Go ahead and catch us again. We'll have something coming up for you real soon. I'm Craig Forrestal of NFL Draft Diamonds, and with me today was Jock Givens. Jock, go ahead and say
follow me on Twitter, KingJock24.